Hey guys, as I'm sure you saw by the title, we have a lot to talk about. So yes, the news is true. Halloween Horror Nights 30 has been canceled, postponed to 2021. So it's been a chaotic morning. I actually had a different video that I filmed and had ready to go today that was all Horror Nights rumors based on what we've been hearing, and obviously today's news completely changed what we're here to talk about today. So Universal posted this morning. Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood and Halloween Horror Nights Orlando have both been canceled for 2020. So I definitely want to talk about that and give you an update of what happened yesterday, because yesterday was a madhouse. But before I do that, I had filmed a little intro to yesterday's video that I do want to include here because I talk about this amazing shirt, and I also talked about my friends over at the Haunt Vault, which right now with everything going on, you guys might even be more interested in. So here's what I filmed yesterday, and I'll be back in a moment to talk about all the news from today. And first up, I want to show off my amazing shirt that was sent to me by some lovely subscribers who I met last year at Halloween Horror Nights, Andy and Ashley. They know my love of nightingales and they had to send me this shirt. Without further ado, look at this amazing shirt. I showed it on my weekly vlogs if you're watching my weekly vlogs, but I wanted to show it off here. It's amazing. I love it. Also, I received another little fun package in the mail, and that is from my lovely friends at Haunt Vault, which if you're an old school Horror Nights fan, you know of the Vault. The Vault was the forum that everyone was on back in the day. So if you're an old school Horror Nights person, you know what I'm talking about. If you're new school, if you're new to the event, back in the day, there was one forum that everyone was on, and it was called the Vault, and that's where a lot of people that I know originally met. And it was really one of the birthplaces of the Horror Nights fan community, and we've remained friends for all of these years. Eventually the Vault kind of died off and we had other forums pop up to replace it, but the Vault is back as the Haunt Vault. Still the original guys running it. I can't wait to see what they do with it, but they went ahead and sent me this lanyard and the Haunt Vault pin, and I will be getting a Haunt Vault t-shirt once they're available. So they were kind enough to send me these in advance, but I wanted to discuss it with you guys because these guys are legit fans of Halloween Horror Nights. So far they have a Discord set up so you can meet other people in the community, discuss the rumors and houses that are coming up, and then eventually they're going to be covering like all the haunts now. It's not going to be just Halloween Horror Nights. It's going to be haunts from all across the country, and I can't wait to see what they do with it. I think they're going to do really big things, and the coolest part is these things glow in the dark. And when I say glow in the dark, I mean this thing looks like it's lit up like a neon sign. So very cool. They're doing pre-orders for their t-shirts. So I'll leave the link down below if you guys are interested. You should definitely join the Discord. I'm on there. We can chat Horror Nights there. So thank you, Andy and Ashley, for my amazing shirt. Thank you, Haunt Vault, for the goodies. And now let's talk about these rumors that are swirling about Orlando. Okay, back to present day. I would check out the Vault because everyone is on there today kind of discussing everything that happened. It's a good place to meet people, discuss the event year round, because obviously it's going to be a long wait before we have another Horror Nights. So if you're looking for a community of people who love Horror Nights, who will talk Horror Nights with you all year, come join the Vault. We'll all be there commiserating for a while now, I'm sure. Okay, so now let's talk today's events. It's wild, right? I think the writing was on the wall. Can't say I didn't expect it. I was trying to kind of temper everyone's expectations every time someone commented or messaged me and said, it's happening, look, people are being cast, the store's opening, it's happening. And I just wanted to temper everyone's expectations the whole time, because with everything going on, there was just never going to be a time where it was 100% happening up until the day the event opened. And this is such a big event. I wasn't sure how they were going to pull it off. I had faith in Universal in trying to pull off the most safe event they possibly could do. I just wasn't sure how they were going to do that. That said, this particular announcement coming today was a bit of a surprise because we were expecting the Tribute store to open today. You know, the Tribute store popped up this past week. We'd heard that it was opening today. So the announcement I was expecting yesterday was ticket prices and for the Tribute store to open. The BOGO ticket deal ended on Wednesday, so we expected to have a new announcement on Thursday for new tickets, because that's usually how it goes. Once the BOGO ends, we get new ticket prices. That didn't happen. I wasn't too concerned about that because there's a lot of things up in the air about the event. I thought maybe they just needed more time to figure out exactly what tickets they were going to offer, so that wasn't a red flag to me yet. But the tribute store not being announced started to become a red flag for me, because I'm like, why would they wait on announcing that when that's supposed to open today? And then there were other rumors starting to swirl that perhaps Netflix had pulled Haunting of Hill House and what was going to happen with that if that was true. In my video that was going to go up today, I discussed that and how that might affect the event and how they would turn that into an original, but obviously it doesn't matter now if that was true or not. But that's another factor that was swirling yesterday that didn't seem like a good sign. And then finally last night, the rumor mill just kind of exploded with ominous sounding news that seemed like we were going to get some sort of big announcement today, and it didn't seem like it was going to be a positive one. I wasn't expecting it to happen so soon in the day. I was actually expecting an evening announcement, but now it makes sense as to why they hadn't already announced Hollywood being closed, because they were waiting to make a decision on Orlando, because we all knew Hollywood wasn't happening. They were already starting to tear down their houses. The parks haven't reopened there. That one was common sense, and I wondered why they were putting a delay on announcing that. Now it makes sense. As far as the tribute store, I think it's really weird timing to go ahead and build and obviously tease the tribute store right before canceling. I'm not sure why they didn't just wait on that. I could understand going ahead and having a tribute store even without the event, because they have merch that they created for this year. They still need to sell it. So I still think that the tribute store will open in a limited capacity. Not all 4 rooms, obviously, probably just 1 room or 2 rooms that were more generic, that they can make just 30 years, 30 fears, or whatever they're gonna end up theming it. So I do think that will still open to sell the merch they have. They obviously are selling the merch online. I just think that that was really weird timing and kind of gave everyone false hope. Plus, everything was still happening behind the scenes. People were still getting cast, people were getting their calls, people were having their fitness tests right up until yesterday. So I know the decision comes from up top, and the people on the ground doing the casting and everything wouldn't have known until last minute, and they were just continuing on as if it was happening. But that's just wild to me that everything was still moving forward as of yesterday morning, and then plug pulled. So obviously we will see the event return in 2021. I do think that 2021 will become the 30th anniversary because we didn't have an event this year. So next year is the 30th event. It's the 30th anniversary. Hopefully we still see the Icons House and the 30th anniversary Cary, Ohio house. I think a lot of fans were looking forward to seeing those, so hopefully those carry over to next year. We'll see what ends up happening with the rest of the content. We could just start fresh with a whole new list of houses. Maybe the originals stay and we get different IPs. Time will tell on that. I really don't know what they'll do with the houses because they were already built. We've never had anything like this happen, so I can't even begin to speculate on, do they keep the houses built? Can they keep the houses built? Can they just reserve those sound stages for the next year? I mean, how much production is happening right now during this whole pandemic? I don't know. Fingers crossed that they can save the money and just keep the houses, and then we're good to go for next year. Personally, I agree with the decision. I think Universal made the right choice as far as protecting the guests, protecting the actors. I really don't know how they could have pulled off this event, protecting everyone, and still had anything close to the event that we love. I think it will be a far better celebration of the 30th anniversary next year. That said, I do very much feel for my scare actor friends who are already cast, and although they didn't specifically know their roles yet, they at least had an idea of what house they were in, so they were already starting to dream up ideas of what they were cast as. And I know some already had their hearts fully invested in what they'd be doing this year. My heart breaks for them because, you know, it's a big process getting cast, and there's a lot of emotions that go with being cast again each year. It's a lot of nervousness and anxiety over hoping you can return for my friends who just absolutely live and breathe this event. And so every year it's a relief once you find out you're cast. You're like, oh, I'm in again, I'm good. Now to have that pulled away from you and have to go through this all again next year, my heart really does break for them. So it's just a tough situation all around. I discussed this in the video that was going to go up today, but I wasn't sure if I was even going to go to the event. I hadn't made my decision yet because I was waiting to hear how Universal planned to operate the event, to see how I felt about my own personal safety going to the event. I was still very much on the fence. I don't feel safe flying to Florida right now. Florida is a mess right now. Not that Houston's any better. We're staying home constantly. We're not going out into Houston to get exposed. Going into a theme park after being home for months and months and avoiding people purposely, I was going to have a hard time justifying that to myself. And I have a feeling a lot of other people out there were going to face that decision. So I was going to have a very hard internal debate as the event drew near if whether or not I felt comfortable maybe just going one night and doing an RIP tour or something like that. Ultimately, I'm glad Universal made the call for me. Now I don't have to have that internal debate. I can just know that I'm not missing out on the 30th anniversary, know that I can stay safe and stay home, and we'll all be there together in 2021 in the fog. Hopefully life has returned somewhat normal and we can all be out there enjoying it together, back hanging out with our friends in the fog, interacting with scare actors as normal, and just having a blast. That's, I think, the best case scenario we can make out of this whole deal. So it's definitely a sad day. It's a somber day. It's a day I was already prepared for. I was somewhat expecting this. I was hoping for some miracle where it was going to be safe to go and we could all be there and have the best time ever. But I was kind of anticipating this happening instead, and here we are. If you already bought the BOGO tickets, they are offering a refund, or you can hold those tickets and use them again next year, which I think is the smarter idea because then you're locked into the price you paid, and Lord knows the prices go up every year. Good to just go ahead and hold on to those BOGO tickets if you have them. So I think that's it for the moment. We'll wait and see if they open the tribute store, and then the rest we're just gonna have to see what happens over this very long wait to 2021. How are you guys feeling about it? Did you see this coming? Were you shocked? Did this completely change your plans for the fall? Or were you like me and figuring you probably wouldn't be able to make it this year anyway? So let me know. Leave me a comment down below. Have no fear, I will still be making videos. I guess they're gonna be Flashback Friday videos for a while now. I'll be back every other Friday with some Flashback Friday, or maybe I'll continue some Horror Nights history. Even though we're not having an event this year, I can still go back and talk about some previous topics. So if you have some previous HHN lore you'd like me to talk about, let me know down below as well. I'm still planning to do one on 2008, so maybe I'll do that one next. And I'll see you guys around. Stay safe, stay spoopy, and I'll see you back here in 2 weeks. Bye guys.